I'm seeing these crochet stitches everywhere right now, but I want to know if they're actually easy to learn. So today I'm going to test these 10 viral crochet stitches and rank them from easiest to hardest. Hi, I'm Elise, and one of my biggest goals for this year is to keep improving my crochet skills, and that means getting out of my comfort zone and trying things that intimidate me just a little bit. So today I'm attempting to learn these 10 viral crochet stitches that look absolutely beautiful but may not be as easy as they seem. But I feel quite humbled right now. So I'm going to follow tutorials for each stitch, and I'm also going to keep track of all of the different elements on my crochet stitch scorecard. And by the end of the video, I'm going to rank these from easiest to hardest based on how they actually felt to learn. And if I'm being honest, I tend to get a little flustered when I'm learning something new, but this is my year to stretch myself as a person and a crocheter. And I'm hoping I can walk away with a few new skills and not completely embarrass myself in the process. Plus, I'll leave links for every tutorial that I used in the description box below. So the first stitch that we're going to try is called the wheat stitch, and this was recently invented by Brianna K Designs, and I'm seeing it everywhere. This one is so intricate, it's beautiful, and if I'm honest, I'm a little intimidated, but let's try it out. So far, the setup to this stitch has been super easy, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. What I'm finding with this stitch so far is that what she's explaining and what she's showing makes complete sense. I can see exactly what she's doing. I understand what she's doing, and then my hands don't seem to cooperate for some reason. So I am feeling myself getting a little bit flustered. I understand it up here, and I just don't know why my hands won't do it. This was so interesting, and the problem that I was having is that you are skipping a stitch and you're working back into that skip stitch, and for whatever reason I was having a hard time identifying that space, but once I could see that space I was good to go, and that was the only part that was a little bit tricky. And I do think that this is an incredibly gorgeous textured stitch, and once I got the hang of it I was just having so much fun. I actually didn't want it to end. This next stitch is the one that sparked the idea for this entire video. It's playful, textured, and oh so cute. And I've been seeing this strawberry stitch all over social media, and I cannot wait to try it. I'm using a tutorial from Nastasia, and let's see if this old dog can learn new tricks. I knew something didn't feel right. I did this backwards, the green stem part. So now I've got to figure out which direction are we going here. I messed this completely up. I think this turned out so cute. This was actually really fun to make, and yes, I completely messed up because I was working my little stem part on the complete wrong side of the work, but it was easily fixed. And there are two things that I would change if I was going to make the strawberry stitch again. And the first is I would go up a crochet hook size doing my chain, because I can tell that here on my sample it's just a little bit too tight. Secondly, I think that I didn't choose the best yarn for this project. I can't tell exactly what type of yarn Nastasia is using, if it's a 100% cotton yarn or maybe it's a tubular yarn, but there is incredible stitch definition, and I think because I just used a budget acrylic, I feel like the stitch definition isn't quite as good. So those are the two things that I would change. But the tutorial is fantastic, and I just think this is so adorable. In 2026, I'm trying to remind myself of how important it is to slow down and enjoy the process. Whether that's learning a new crochet stitch or waiting for my wild grain bread to finish baking. Literally, my whole house smells like a bakery right now, and I cannot wait for that timer to go off. Wild grain is one of the best things we've done as a family. They're the first bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. And what I love about wild grain is that they use simple ingredients and slow fermentation, which is better for our bellies and richer in nutrients. But what what I love even more is that it's a healthier option, but without sacrificing on taste. Everything we've had from Wild Grain has been a 10 out of 10, and my husband and sons love it as much as I do, and maybe even more. Wild Grain also offers specialty seasonal products that make enjoying baked goods even better. But they also offer gluten-free, vegan, and their new protein boxes, so everyone can enjoy Wild Grain. So if you're ready to check out Wild Grain for yourself, make sure to check my link in the description box below and use the code EliseRose to get $30 off your first box, plus you'll get free croissants for life. And they are so delicious. Thank you so much to Wild Grain for sponsoring today's video. I came across this next stitch while scrolling on TikTok, and I am so in love with the delicate texture of the cherry blossom stitch. I found a tutorial from Modern Made, and I love that the inspiration for this stitch came from the cherry blossoms that were blooming at the time that she filmed this tutorial, because I am so over winter right now, so I'm ready to try this one out. I think I would have to say, after doing the 3 stitches so far, that this one right now is my favorite. This one was really relaxing. I enjoyed making this one so much, and I really do think that it is so beautiful. The next stitch is the honeycomb stitch, and this is one of my favorite things about crochet is they come up with the most wonderful name for stitches, and I found a tutorial for this stitch from Bella Coco Crochet. This one has a very bold geometric look to it. It looks very structured and it's almost architectural, so I cannot wait to try this one. This was a very interesting stitch, and I will say that I found this one challenging, but not impossible at all. I also feel like this took a lot of concentration. I really had to pay attention to what Bella Coco was saying, Sarah Jane, because every stitch felt like, okay, am I doing this correctly? I had to think a lot about what I was doing. This is very textured. It's also super thick. This is a very thick little fabric that it makes, and this is a bit of yarn hog. So for the scorecard, I was a little bit hesitant on the enjoyment part. The other stitches I had ranked as a 5, like 5 stars, that's the most enjoyable. And I was kind of on the fence about this one because I did enjoy making this one, but because of that concentration, I did bump it down to a 4. But this one was really fun. It just took a lot of my brain power. This next stitch looks quite a bit like our previous stitch, the honeycomb stitch, but it has a little bit of a softer look. And so I'm curious if this stitch is constructed very similarly to the honeycomb stitch or if it's a completely different construction altogether. So I found a tutorial from Heart Hook Home, so let's try it out. I'm taking a break for a minute because I've never had a crochet stitch make me feel so dumb in my entire life, and I'm not exaggerating at all. I'm just feeling a little frustrated right now. I'm not understanding where she's putting the crochet hook, and the tutorial is amazing. And so many of the comments are like, it finally clicked for me with your video. This made so much sense. And I'm sitting here feeling like, what is wrong with my brain? Why is this not making sense to me? So I think I'm going to need to take a little bit of a break. I think my brain is just telling me, we're all done for today. We're all done. I'm not going to get all 10 of these stitches done today, and that's okay. But I feel quite humbled right now. So, good morning. It's day 2 and I am feeling refreshed and I am ready to tackle the diamond stitch, but I am going to change one thing. I was thinking about it last night and I am going to try a different yarn. I don't think it was just the yarn last night or yesterday afternoon. I really do think that my brain just took a break. My brain was like, I'm all done. And I'm feeling so much more alert and ready to tackle something new and to learn this new stitch. So let's get back to it. We've made a little progress. I'm understanding the stitch a little better. I am still finding it quite challenging, but I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to give up right now. I think I got it. It was a bit of a struggle. Mine doesn't look quite as neat as hers, and I'm sure that I have some mistakes, but it does look similar and it does look like a diamond stitch. I found this one pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't have been able to continue without the tutorial. I would have needed to continue to watch her do it, but it really is pretty. It's a pretty dense stitch. It creates a very thick fabric, but this one was a doozy for me. I'm really hoping this next stitch builds my confidence back up, and it's one that I've been seeing quite a bit lately, and it's the spider stitch. I'm not sure if the stitch is meant to look like a spider or the spider web, but if you have arachnophobia, maybe this isn't the stitch for you, but I think especially little tiny spiders, I think they're actually really cute. So I found a tutorial from Hooked by Robin, so let's give it a go. This was such a fun stitch to make, and I'm realizing that if a stitch is a little bit on the easier side, I enjoy it more. So this one was actually super enjoyable. I wanted to keep working on it, and I think that the fabric it creates is absolutely gorgeous. I've been seeing herringbone patterns everywhere lately, especially with home decor like tiles and wooden floors, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So I am so excited to try the herringbone crochet stitch. It creates what appears to be angled stitches that give it almost a woven look, and I found a tutorial from For the Frills, and I can't wait to get started. I want to know who invented this stitch, and I also want to know why. Why would you invent a crochet stitch where you have to work from the back of the work and twist the crochet hook all around and mess my brain all up? This is the most confusing crochet stitch I think I've ever made. I just don't understand why. Why does this exist? The herringbone stitch surprised me. I was not enjoying it in the beginning, and I was finding all of the different moves and the upside down and the backwards and the front to back. That all was feeling very confusing in my brain. And then at one point it just clicked, and I do think that this is a harder stitch, especially just that learning curve. But then once it started to click, I just started really enjoying it. So it turns out I actually don't hate all difficult stitches. I'm really hoping that this next stitch is a little bit easier on my brain, and it's the waffle stitch. And I feel like everyone is making waffle stitch projects right now because I'm seeing it everywhere. Not only am I seeing a lot of waffle stitch projects in the crochet community, I'm also seeing a lot of waffle stitch manufactured garments, blankets, dishcloths, home accessories in places like Target and Walmart. So I'm really excited to try this one. I'm sorry if my camera's moving around because it's this guy. What are you doing, buddy? Silly boy. I could make the waffle stitch all day, every day. I could make the waffle stitch. I enjoyed this so much. It was so relaxing. This tutorial from Hooked by Robin was absolute perfection. This was easy, but it has this amazing texture, and I now see why it is so popular. I have 2 stitches left, and I'm not going to lie, these are the 2 that intimidate me the most. And this first one is a crochet cable. Now, I have done cables in knitting, and I love how they look. I actually like making them with knitting, and it makes sense to me because knitted stitches are unfinished, and you're easily able to move them with a little cable holder. But with crochet, I'm just not able to wrap my mind around how do you do this when your stitches are finished, and how do you cross, I don't know. It's giving me diamond stitch nightmares, so I'm a little bit worried about the crochet cable, but I'm here to do it. Oh no, we're doing front post double crochets. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Surprisingly, crocheted cables aren't as hard as I was afraid it was going to be. This turned out really beautiful, but what did surprise me is that I think crocheting cables is harder than knitting cables. And going into the front and back posts and going backwards and forwards, that was a bit tricky. And I would call this stitch fiddly. I'm not sure that I would want to do an entire project of crocheted cables. I think it would break my little brain, but I do think that it looks really beautiful and I'm so glad I tried it. I am so excited about our last stitch. This one is one that I've wanted to learn for a long time. I have seen so many projects made with this stitch. Actually, I don't even know if you would call it a stitch or a technique, but it's corner to corner crochet. But we aren't intimidated. We are ready to tackle corner to corner with Miss Toni Lipsey of TL Yarn Crafts. Let's go. I've got a bone to pick with some of you. Why didn't you tell me how amazing corner to corner crochet is? Oh my goodness, I think I just fell head over heels in love. This was the most fun stitch that I have done so far today. Well, yesterday as well. I literally could do this all day long. And the only downside that I could see to corner is just that here's the back. And I've already started weaving in some of the ends, but everything else about this is exactly what I love. I love a bit of color work. I love something graphic like this. And this is not going to be my last corner to corner project. I can tell you that. This was such a fun challenge. I've learned so many new stitches. I've discovered stitches that I never want to do again, and I've also discovered stitches that I can't wait to do again. But without further ado, let's get to the ranking. And drum roll, please. Okay, that shook the table all around. Okay, so we're starting in 10th place. This is the least hard. This is the easiest of all of these viral crochet stitches. And that's the cherry blossom stitch. Coming in at 9th place is corner to corner crochet. In 8th place is the spider stitch. In 7th place is the waffle stitch. In 6th place is the strawberry stitch. In 5th place is the wheat stitch. In 4th place is the honeycomb stitch. And now we're getting to the 3 hardest viral crochet stitches. So in 3rd place is the crochet cable. In 2nd place, this is the runner-up to the hardest viral crochet stitch, and that's the herringbone stitch. And the number 1 hardest viral crochet stitch is the diamond stitch. And that one gave me so many issues. Now your ranking may be completely different from mine and I want to hear from you. So please let me know in the comment section which stitch you thought was the hardest, and maybe there are stitches that I didn't even include in this list that you think are harder. So please let us know in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video. It's the hardest crochet stitches ranked from easiest to hardest next. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe and happy stitching.